Okay, so I seen him 2 weeks ago now, but you saw it yesterday, so it's fresh in your mind.
Yep.
Even though you told me before that you wanted to probably see it again. Look, man, my problem with the movie, Marlon Wayans was good in a serious role. Tyreek Withers was actually pretty good for most of the movie. My biggest problem with him is that it felt like we were building up to something that the ending did not deliver on whatsoever. Like, the ending literally caught me off guard. I'm like, what is this? You know what I mean? I just thought we were going in a completely different direction, maybe. I had expectations set by what we were given throughout the movie, and then the ending just... the ending caught me for a fucking loop. I did not expect any of that.
I was confused through... okay, so I thought I knew what was going on until, like you said, until like the last act. And then it just got a little wacky. Like, I just couldn't put some things together. And it kind of like tracked that way most of the film. So one thing that stood out to me very early on, right? First of all, Jesse Williams is his boy daddy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And his mom's black.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he call him a African American?
Because in real life...
So damn, Jesse Williams not black, or the mom wasn't black? What's going on?
I don't know.
How did we get a mulatto baby from two black people? Okay, I was just confused. That was just a random confusion. But I also felt like most of the stuff that we were seeing from him where he was having those flashes were like symbolism for other things. Like, that's a telltale sign of Jordan Peele. Like, he'll throw some randomness in the movie to like bring like social awareness about some shit, or to bring about a conversation about, you know, a certain archetype in black culture or black history. Something that he's trying to shed light on. There was times where I thought that they were doing things for symbolism, but then we found out later in the movie that those things were actually happening. Mm-hmm. So I'm confused about how some of these things happened, in like how did you crack his skull and know that he was going to be able to still play football? How like, you actually hit him with that fucking thing?
Yep.
And just took it on faith that you weren't going to kill him?
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
That was a little much.
Also, the football drills. Like, I understand football actually wasn't the point of all of this. It wasn't a football movie, for real, for real. This was a movie about celebrity worship. It was about idolism. This was about sacrifice and grief and family. And it was about a lot of things, but football was just kind of like the setting of it all.
It was like the conduit to get.
And I get that.
Device, yeah.
Right? We couldn't talk to nobody about what these quarterback drills look like. Nobody. We couldn't talk to a single soul. Tyreek Withers played college football at Florida State. Did y'all not ask this man if any of this shit even remotely made sense? What quarterback drill puts two motherfuckers 20 yards away from you and tells them to run directly at you, and you just got to sit there and dodge it? What fucking drill is that? Aaron Rodgers has
That's
never.
Oklahoma drill, bro.
Hey, Patrick Mahomes would have the entire front office fucking fired.
Not for nothing. He was the person that was holding the ball at first, and then he became the person that was running at that person.
Well, no, like it. So, because they were also doing this annoying thing when the more violent parts in the movie were happening, they were like phasing into this infrared type of lens. I didn't.
Well, it had to do with, you know, his injury, like that showed.
Well, sure, maybe one or two times, but there were times I just want to see what's going on and not do that shit. But what he did was he seen the dude coming, and instead of getting hit, he gave the hit, and he leaned in and gave the dude CTE right there on the ground. Like,
targeting.
It happened right there.
Targeting. Suspended for the next game.
First ever diagnosis of CTE while you're still alive. This is it right here.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, just crazy stuff happening, man. Julia Fox is actually good in this movie, though. She was actually really good in this movie.
That was another thing. She was pretty good.
She was good.
I felt like the ending could have used some more character development from certain characters, right? So we can understand maybe the ending did explain the motive for her, but like I just felt unfulfilled. I was just like, she was showing up originally as bro's wife, and then
they filled in. And first of all, in terms of a wife, like there was like no physical. Like if she didn't tell me that was his wife, I would never have assumed. I would have been an assistant or some shit like that. Yeah, or somebody just around, right? If they didn't explicitly tell me that she was his wife, I would have had no way to know.
And then he's pulling a gun out on Tyreek Withers.
Did you fuck up?
Like you don't care. There's no way you care.
It was kind of all over the place, man.
More development from the agent, more development from the owners, like all of that.
The owner was randomly his dad's well, he was the owner of the shop that his dad worked at before. He ended up owning an NFL team.
Yep.
So hold on, he just randomly worked for the owner of an NFL team, and he just never knew. He'd never tell his son, "Hey, you know my old boss from that old job that I had back in the day? You know, I got a picture with him. He ended up owning the Saviors." And then he realizes how they all put it together off of that picture alone. It was just all they filled in a lot of pieces to kind of try to make the story come together very quickly. You know, it wasn't the pacing was a little off. Also, I didn't really care for the whole numerical the Romans numerals days thing. I couldn't I didn't really, because number one, I don't really read Roman numerals all that well. I didn't know whether or not we were bouncing around the timeline or if we were going in order. You know, couldn't tell.
Yeah, from what I remember, I think it was going in order. But yeah, I mean, I guess that portion of it was kind of unneeded. But yeah, no, I thought the ending was, me personally, I thought it was horrendous just because we didn't build up to that. There was no build up to that.
The devil was going to possess you if you didn't sign shit. That shit, that level of jeopardy was never established.
No, it wasn't.
Ever. No. Like, where did this whole random pull him into the tarot card circle shit? Now he about to explode because nobody signed the contract.
Sure.
Where'd that shit come from?
I don't know.
Maybe work a little bit more on the motivation of why all this is happening in the first place and not just trying to jump scare everybody to death. Which I don't feel like any of the jump scares was really there. This was a more suspenseful film than it was straight up horror.
Horror? Yeah, no, I didn't get that at all.
Yeah.
All right. MoFly said, yeah, him had a bad ending. They stumbled, fam. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. What up, Breck? Perp says, gave him 3 of 5 stars on Letterboxd. It was cool. I would lean 2.
But feel like again, 3 out of 5 feels appropriate. I gave it a 7.
Marlon Wayans has nothing to do with it.
He was good.
I thought he did well.
He was really good. I was impressed. I was impressed.
I wouldn't say nominated for an Oscar, MoFly, but he did good. He did really good, I thought. Julia Fox, nah, LOL. Yes.
I thought she was good. I thought she was all right.
I don't think...
Get your shit together!
My problem with her is not her acting. It was the writing. It was the motive for her character. Marlon not going to get award noms this year. Comp too crazy. Facts.
Also, the doctor. If you trying to help me, why you still shoot me up with this shit?
He was absolutely no help.
Man, you told me to run, and then obviously he gave me the adrenaline so I could shake off the drugs when they take me to the thing. And he was prepared to die, but like, why are you still shooting me up with this shit?
That guy was no help. Breck says, the wife and I saw The Long Walk instead of him this weekend. And then he said, I guess we should have seen that one. I really want to see The Long Walk. Still haven't seen it yet. Marcus has already seen it. So maybe next week we'll do a quick synopsis of The Long Walk.
Excuse me, y'all. I need to have a conversation with these nachos for about 30 seconds.
That's crazy.